Yeah. Mr. Mayday. Turn it up. Came from a room with a cracked screen globe. Now I talk plays, whole city on the show. Sports talk spreads, who's covering the line? Break bread, break news, break through every time. From the bench to the bag, that's a real upgrade. Used to pray for a chain, now I talk upgrades. Inbox flooded, they beg for a name, but I'm counting these checks while they chase that fame. Mr. Man purchase, money on the way, power in my voice, every word got paid. Talk about the game, turn life to a lane. Say my name, Mr. Man, Mr. Man, Mr. Man purchase. Numbers on the board, every single story got a price, can't ignore. Turn the mic on, whole world in the frame. Say my name, Mr. Man, Mr. Man. Got callers on the line trying to argue my picks, but the stats don't lie, I'm just calling this slick. From the court to the field, I'm ahead of the odds. Turn the base into deals, now I'm talking to God. Brand new fit, but the hustle ain't changed. Still grind late nights, watch the replays, games. I was broke, now the crew fly private to the game. They ask how I did it, I just built my own lane. Mr. Man purchase, money on the way, power in my voice, every word got paid. Talk about the game, turn life to a lane. Say my name, Mr. Man, Mr. Man, Mr. Man purchase. Numbers on the board, every single story got a price, can't ignore. Turn the mic on, whole world in the frame. Say my name, Mr. Man, Mr. Man.
Welcome everyone to Mr. Main Podcast. I'm Mr. Main. Today I will be talking about the fight that's happening this Saturday night between Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman at the MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada. This is going to be a great fight between a veteran such as Keith one-time Thurman versus a young up-and-comer champion, Sebastian Fundora, fighting at 154, light middleweight. This is going to be a great fight, you guys, and I'm going to break down the analysis, give you my prediction on who's going to win this fight. Now, let's start with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, we all know by his alias, nickname, One Time, has a pro record of 31 wins, 1 loss, and 23 knockouts. That one loss he suffered against the legend, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, at the MGM Grand 2019. That's the only loss that he has suffered in his whole entire career. Now, he's 5'9.5", born in Clearwater, Florida, residing in St. Petersburg, Florida, currently. He was taught how to fight by his head janitor at the elementary school, Ben Getty. And he's a wonderful unified champion at welterweight. He's been a legend of the game and a future Hall of Famer. Keith Thurman, I like the guy. He's one of my favorite fighters. I've been following his career. He beat such guy as Danny Garcia. He beat Sean Porter. So he's been in there with champions. And recently, his recent fight, he beat Brock Jarvis by knocking him out in the 3rd round. And he beat Mario Barrios by decision. So he has been active recently, but before then, Keith one-time Thurman has been very inactive since the Manny Pacquiao fight. He's been injured, and he only fought Brock Jarvis and Mario Barrios since the Manny Pacquiao fight. He's currently 37 years old, So he's got a lot of wear and tear on his body, and he's one of my favorite fighters.
He's got the champion, the towering Inferno, in front of him. It's time for our co-main events. Sebastian.
Sponsors, we went over the instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, touch gloves. Good luck.
Right, that Fundora, give him a return opportunity. And here we are inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This reminds me of the movie. It's just hard because there's no safe place. I mean, there's places in the ring where you're like, I'm good here, not against Fundora.
Well, he's not doing the thing you're supposed to do against his. Hold up, he's getting
pummeled. That right hook hurt Tim Tszyu, and here comes the barrage of punches from Fundora. But you can't get careless because Tim Tszyu is looking for that shot.
This is the only way Tszyu knows to punch his way out of trouble.
Go down with that punch.
And you saw Tim Tszyu immediately pawing at that right eye. This time, it was.
He's just a different fighter.
He just makes it so easy. He's got the advantage. God-gifted advantage, the height, the reach.
But it only matters if you know how to use it,
Yes.
and he's really learned how to use it in this fight.
But you can't use it if you don't believe in it.
Exactly.
He believes in the power of his left hand.
But that's the thing. People did not believe that he could do it. And he's showing us it.
That left hand was a straight shot that hurt Tim Tszyu once again. How will he deal with it? You got to credit Tim Tszyu's heart here. Whoa, another one of those exchanges.
Now this is the back and forth we expected. Tszyu may be hurt, but he is loading up with right hands.
And those are dangerous shots because Fundora's falling into him.
Downstairs, he hooks that jab. Speaking of Fundora, and just hurts him. He's doing all the right things as the tall fighter.
Tim Tszyu's doing a better job.
Man, there's that right from Tim Tszyu.
Strong momentum behind those right hands.
There's another right hand from Tim Tszyu. That was the first round that our unofficial scorer Larry Hassel gave to Tim Tszyu to make it a
Loss of the blood from the nose of Fundora once more.
nice left there from Fundora. Doesn't have the same crack as it did earlier on in the fight, though.
And not in there.
It's time to work those shoulders as well. If you're Tim Tszyu, you're the smaller fighter, break them down. Shoulder shots.
Good exchange, and now from Fundora.
By Fundora, he's got to close that gap. That's the point. He's got to close the gap. Look, right there, he got close enough to land that hook.
Absolutely good start for.
I hope to audition for you guys one day.
You can make it happen.
All right, thanks, guys.
He's so right about that. Look at the feet. They're so planted. Speaking of Tim Tszyu, he's got to take that step forward when he throws that right hand.
It's over. The fight is done. Sebastian Fundora retains his belt in the rematch against Tim Tszyu, and
Still the WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora.
Sebastian Fundora, he fought Tim Tszyu at MGM Grand and beat him 7th round. Tim Tszyu refused to come out of the corner in the 7th round. He had too much because Sebastian Fundora was beating his ass from pillar to post in the fight. He was dominating in the fight. And by the 7th round, Tim Tszyu had too much. He couldn't continue. So he didn't come out of the corner. And Sebastian Fundora was the winner. Now, before he fought Tim Tszyu, he fought Cordell Booker, and he beat him in the 4th round, TKO. That fight was at Michelob Ultra Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. So his last 2 fights, Sebastian Fundora be looking like a monster. Before he fought Cordell Booker, he fought Tim Tszyu, and he was a late replacement for Keith Thurman in that fight. Originally, Keith Thurman was supposed to fight Tim Tszyu at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, but he got hurt, injured in training. So Sebastian Fundora had to step in that night and fought Tim Tszyu. He beat Tim Tszyu in a decision. It was a bloody fight. Both guys were bloody from head to toes in that fight. And Sebastian got the nod and beat him. So his last 3 fights, Sebastian Fundora be looking good. Now, he's taking on a different animal. Keith one-time Thurman, who's a future Hall of Famer. It's different. So I'm going to break it down to you who I think is going to win the fight and give you my prediction. Keith Thurman, let's talk about his history a little bit. Keith Thurman was found in the hallways of Bel Air Elementary School in Clearwater, Florida by the janitor, Ben Getty. Ben Getty taught Keith Thurman at a young age how to box. He brought him into the YMCA that he worked in after school to teach him how to box. And he's been his trainer for a long time. Ben Getty died in 2009 at the age of 63. But Keith Thurman has always credited Ben Getty for his accomplishment and being a Ben Getty fighter. Ben Getty was an exceptional person in Keith's life. Keith was a biracial child. His dad was African American and his mom was half Polish and half Hungarian. So growing up, he was always getting into trouble. He was a little troublemaker. But boxing was his way out. Ben Getty found him and helped him at a young age so he wouldn't grow up in a criminal system. Growing up, learning how to box by Ben Getty and his son, Chris. Now, Chris Getty manages Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman has been a champion and a future Hall of Famer. And he's going to fight Sebastian Fundora for his title, for his 154-pound title, Saturday night at MGM Grand, March 28, 2026.
Yesterday, he weighed in a remarkable 17.5 kilos, more than back when he made his professional debut. Has he had his time? Or will this be the renaissance? What an entrance from the 36-year-old against the 27-year-old young gun. A bit of height for Thurman.
All right, gentlemen, you got your instructions in. You got your instructions in the dressing sheds. Remember, obey my instructions at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up.
So if this is Keith Thurman and Brock Jarvis, and they take to centre ring, Ben Damon in commentary alongside Tim Tszyu and Sean Porter, who we often see charge at opponents, does step back, but then he punches hard downstairs and up. And Tim Tszyu, what are you seeing in the early stages here?
Yeah, very interesting. They're both trying to find the range.
Thurman, fast hands. Great reactions, and he counters well. That is a big right hand from Keith Thurman, and Jarvis wears it well.
He's not sure what Keith is going to do.
He counters nicely there to Jarvis.
Beautiful counter.
Now he tries to work to the body, and he digs right into Jarvis. Thurman tries to cover up, uppercuts and body shots.
Beautiful counter right there.
The Sydney sider. He's worn a shot from Thurman, and now he's working hard. And he goes hard to the body too.
Good body
Thurman
work.
comes back. From Keith Thurman.
This is the rhythm that I'm used to with Keith.
This more what we expected, certainly, from Thurman. Misses over the top to Jarvis, and then Thurman comes back with that right hand. Oh, that's a big right hand over the top from Thurman, but Jarvis stands right up to it. And then it's Jarvis trying to come towards and throwing with a right hand to the body. He tries to throw that right hand over the top, and now Jarvis
Oh,
my goodness.
big right hand from
my
Thurman.
goodness.
Got him. He got
Here he goes.
He's feeling it.
Keith Thurman has Brock Jarvis hurt. Down. And is he out? What a moment from the former champion. Jarvis digs deep, gets to his feet, but Thurman is poised. And here he comes.
Oh, my goodness. Game over.
Oh,
Game
it's
over.
like he never left. It's Thurman the Great.
We back.
And he celebrates in style in Sydney.
5, Sean Porter at ringside. Those question marks have been deleted.
And the ref stepping in and doing the right thing. He was already on his way. He could see that this is a lion and a gazelle at this point. It took one punch to land, but the ref was already on his way. It's good refereeing right there.
Former welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman.
Let's talk about a little bit about Sebastian Fundora. He was born in West Palm Beach, Florida, currently residing in Coachella, California. Fundora is 6'5" and a half and is only 25 years old. He has a sister, Gabriella Fundora, who is a undisputed flyweight champion. Now, Sebastian is trained by his father, Freddie Fundora. His mom is Mexican. His dad is Cuban. They live in Florida, born and raised in Florida, but then relocated to California, Coachella Valley. Trained by his father at the Coachella Valley Boxing Club, Fundora became a champion. Here's my opinion prediction on the fight. Who do I think is going to win this fight? Let's look. Sebastian is the current WBC champion at 154. He's taking on Keith Thurman, who's an underdog in this fight, the challenger. Even though Keith Thurman has only lost one fight to Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao, I think that Sebastian, the younger fighter at 25 versus a 37-year-old man, I think Sebastian is going to win this fight. And I like Keith Thurman. He's one of my favorite fighters, future Hall of Famer for sure. But I just think that Sebastian is just a little bit too much for Keith. Now, 5 years ago, I would have picked Keith Thurman to win this fight. But at 37, I can't pick Keith Thurman to win this fight. I'm picking Sebastian Fundora is going to win this fight. The age, the inactivity by Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman has only fought Brock Jarvis in Australia, and Mario Barrios, as we all know, is a weak opponent. He just recently lost to Ryan Garcia and got dominated in that fight for 12 rounds at T-Mobile Arena. And Keith Thurman beat him by unanimous decision, but he was a weak opponent. Brock Jarvis wasn't a household name. Nobody even knew of Brock Jarvis until Keith Thurman knocked him out. And Sebastian is just too much for Keith Thurman. Sebastian beat Tim Tszyu, made Tim Tszyu quit in the 7th round by not coming out of the corner. He knocked out Cordell Booker in the 4th round. And then he beat Tim Tszyu in the first fight. The fight that Keith Thurman was supposed to fight. He beat Tim Tszyu by split decision. And that was a bloody fight, but he got the nod. Now, we know this fight was postponed. Originally, this fight was supposed to happen last year. Sebastian got injured in sparring. He hurt his hand by punching a sparring partner's elbow. It wasn't fractured, but it was contused, whereas he couldn't sparred for 3 weeks, and the fight had to be postponed. Originally, this fight was supposed to be the undercard in the Rolly Romero versus Manny Pacquiao fight, but that fight didn't go through either. So it got postponed again to March 28th at MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada. Sebastian is young at 25. He's been the hungriest fighter. He's been explosive recently by beating his last 2 opponents. And I just can't see Keith Thurman beating him. And Keith Thurman is a big underdog in this fight also. So I'm going to have to go with Sebastian Fundora. And I hate to say it, we might see Keith Thurman get knocked out, get stopped for the first time. So take Sebastian Fundora by knockout in the middle rounds. Sebastian's gonna knock him out, or Keith Thurman corner is gonna throw in the towel, because Keith Thurman is a warrior. He's going out in his shield. He's going out by a knockout, or his corner's gonna have to throw in the towel, because he's not a quitter. So Sebastian's winning this fight by TKO, or Keith Thurman retiring, not coming out of the corner. That's my final prediction. Now, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.